Good evening, everybody, and welcome to BITESIZE. So we get rid of that. Woo! That was close. I only just realised I hadn't scheduled this BITESIZE episode tonight, and I noticed at 7:59. That's how much I plan and we plan this podcast and live streams. So welcome everybody. This is BITESIZE. This is our Monday night live stream where I hang out with you guys and we talk about whatever you want to talk about. And this goes out as a podcast as well. So if you are listening to this as a podcast, thank you very much for taking us out on your run. And if you're watching this live, please get involved. Questions, talk things to talk about. Otherwise, it's going to be a very dull and boring show. So let's get in there and let's have a chat about bits and bobs, running shoes, New York, what's next? 40 runs, what's next for you? Everything. Just light us up in the comments. I'm here this week. Next week I'm not here. I'm still in New York next week. So yeah, I'm not here. So again, if you're listening to this as a podcast, we have a live audience and we sort of go through that sort of stuff, questions and things like that as we go through the next 30 minutes or something like that. So yeah, so this week, big week, it's race week for me. I am off to New York on Thursday. I'm flying out there. We've got a busy couple of days coming up. We've got probably the biggest shakeout run I think that's ever going to happen at a marathon or an event. So the guys that believe in the run and New Balance have got together to put on this shakeout run, and it's like the who's who of the running world, I think. If you're into that kind of thing, some people are, some people aren't, some people couldn't care less. But yeah, so it's going to be like a who's who sort of thing in New York, and I'm lucky enough to be part of that. I'm lucky enough to be part of the New Balance team that's taking on the New York Marathon, and that's down to the guys that believe in the run. So big shout out to them. If you've not subscribed to their YouTube channel, follow them on Instagram, please do get over there and follow those guys. Yeah, so I'm going to be there. I'm going to be taking part and getting involved in all that sort of shenanigans. If you go onto the New York City Marathon app, you'll see my name listed as New Balance. So you'll see me on there. So yeah, so it's kind of cool, super excited, nervous at the same time, not about the distance, but about just traveling and stuff. So yeah, it's a lot to contend with, but we're just working through that process as we make our way through the week. So I'm tapering. Last week of taper, I'm doing not much this week, just ticking over the legs, 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there. Nothing major. No point sort of trying to go out and do anything silly like falling over on a trail. That'd be stupid to do. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. Traveling, as I said, on thing, and I'm not here on Monday, and we're not on the long run show on Friday, but there'll be a good show on Friday, so make sure you tune in for that. What do we do? Yeah, running shoes this week. I think the big talking point is the ASICS Nova Blaster 4, which look, all the guys in the US have put all their videos out. If you just type in Nova Blast, ASICS Nova Blast 4, you'll see all the American YouTubers have put out reviews, none of the UK and European ones. And that comes down to the fact that they mix up the launches. I never understood this, never understand this, why they don't coordinate all this sort of stuff together. So everything goes out in one hit, but okay, whatever. So yeah, so the Nova Blast 4 is out. I'm not going to say anything more than that because I think even though it's out there, I don't want to get myself into trouble in terms of embargoes and things like that. So I don't know what I can and can't say, although all the information is out there. I still, yeah, I've got to be very careful. So anyway, so Nova Blast 4 is out or released in terms of the media out in the US. So if you're looking for the Nova Blast 4, then that information's out. There's some other shoes that we can't talk about, so there's no point discussing them. But I think a good shoe to talk about just to kick things off today was the ASICS GT 2012. If you've not seen that video, I'd strongly recommend it if you're after a mild support shoe. That's a phenomenal shoe that I was really not expecting to like. It sort of came out of the blue. I got sent it by ASICS, and I was just like, oh, another GT 2000. Oh, it's going to be like a running on concrete. But you know what? I put them on, and then I thought, oh, and then I put them on again, and I put them on again, and I put them on again. It was just like This is actually all right. And I took my time getting the mileage. I mean, you can see they got released a while ago, but I took my time getting the miles on in them to be able to put a video out. But I'm glad I took my time with it because it's a cracking shoe. They really have talking about ASICs. They've really done a cracking job in terms of their shoes this year. I am worried a little bit about ASICs. Speaking openly and honest as always, about the fact that they're blurring some lines between their shoes. I think they had some clear definition between their shoes, um, and I don't know whether they've sort of I don't know they're sort of blending them together a little bit too much. For example, the Cumulus, which I love, looks to me like the Nova Blast 4. So I'm just and the Nova Blast 4, without getting into too much trouble, has 41.5 mil of stack in the heel, Super Blast territory. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's I don't know. It feels a bit hokerish in terms of a blurred line between the different shoes that are coming out of ASICS. Let me know again if you're listening to this live what you think of the current ASICS lineup. I just think it's very hard to sort of differentiate between some of the lineup at the moment. Maybe a bit controversial, but let's see. Yeah. So anyway, let's see where they go with it. We'll find out more when I go to Texas in a couple of weeks as well. So good evening, good morning, whatever you are, to everybody who is watching this live and then contributing. Thank you very much to everybody who is joining us live. I appreciate it. It's always hard to tune into these things. It's much easier to listen to them back or watch them back in your own time. So thank you very much to everybody who does tune in. So usual faces, Bam Bam, Dawn, Gary, thank you for checking. Seamus. Oh, Seamus got a question. We'll come back to that. A few good luck messages for New York. So thank you very much. I really appreciate that. We'll go for a little bit of that in a minute. In terms of what's coming out content-wise. And actually, let's just do that. So content-wise, in terms of New York, we'll do a vlog from the race. That will come out as soon as I edit it, basically. That'll probably come out, say, Tuesday, something like that. And then we'll do the weekend vlog, which is going to be epic because that will include the shakeout run, the expo, and everything else we get up to. Because I say we've got quite a few bits to do. That'll probably come out on Sunday. And then we'll probably do a video about sort of what's next in terms of where I'm going. I've got some plans for next year in my mind. Obviously, there's a few moving parts as always, but so that will follow probably up from that. So so that's the sort of schedule of things for that. So let's dive into his because I saw so Seamus. Evening, Chris. Ideas for a cushioned trail shoe, please. And of course, good luck for New York. Thank you, Seamus. So cushioned trail shoe. I think the best cushioned trail shoe is the ASICS Trabuco Max 1 or 2. I really like the Cascadia from Brooks, but that's a sort of halfway house between the Trabuco Max and the Fuji Speed, which I really like. I've also been in that Peak Agility or Agility Peak from Merrell 5. But the Trabuco Max is, I think, the most comfortable trail shoe you can run in. I just think it's just an absolute animal. I ran the first edition of that shoe up Snowdon, and it was absolutely brilliant running up Mount Snowdon, which, if you're not from the UK, that's one of the tallest mountains in the country. We ran up and down there. So yeah, the Trabuco Max is I think the most comfortable trail shoe. And it's one of the best cushion shoes. And it's not over the top in terms of stack like that Endorphin shoe from Saucony is a little bit too much in terms of stack. So, yeah, I would definitely have a look at the Trabuco Max 1 or 2, whatever you can do. I was wondering, what were you wondering, Gary, about? He's put a comment. I was wondering that as I couldn't find the link. What were you referring to, young man? Any advice? Now, this is a good question. Any advice for waterproof socks as it's that time of year? I've never, ever considered waterproof socks. I didn't even know that's a thing. A waterproof socks a thing? Maybe I should try some. Let me know of a good brand of waterproof socks. your socks just get wet, don't they? If they're waterproof, does that? I mean, are you talking Gore-Tex or are we talking? What are we talking? Let me know about waterproof socks. Is that a thing? Don't your feet just get wet? I mean, I've done that video on winter shoes the other day. We picked up a couple of good winter running shoes, and they've got like the Gore-Tex, so they keep some of the elements out, but you're never going to get unless you go for a full waterproof shoe. But my feet sweat in those. That's the problem I find with those. So interested to know. Let me know as always. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Okay. So this is more of a coaching question, which we like as well. Question: if you're aiming to run at a certain pace, so this is an example of 10-minute miles, how would you let yourself go either side of it? How much would you let yourself go either side of it? It depends whether that is at an easy pace or is it a hard pace. You're going to have a little bit of slippage either side. If it's a sort of easy effort, I don't let myself go quicker than that. So that's the sort of bottom level. So if I'm 10, 15, using your example, 10, let's say if I'm at 10, 15, I'm pretty relaxed. As long as I'm no quicker than 10, if it's an easy effort. If it's a fast effort, it's the opposite. So, I've got a little bit on the other side of it. So I'm trying as near as damn as get close to it, but I'm happy to be a little bit either side of it, depending on what sort of effort I'm putting into it. So I hope that makes sense. If I'm looking to do a tempo run, then the tempo run I'm looking really to dial it right in dead aim. But if I'm looking to do like that hard set, but then if I'm going really hard, then I tend not to look at pace anyway. If I'm going hard, I just run hard. I just try and run as fast and as hard as I can until I can't do it anymore. But I think with that sort of thing, it's more about if you're in a race or if you're doing a long slow run. I think that's probably where that comes into play really. So for example, let's use an example. So for New York, I'm going to try and run around the 9:05 like I did in Berlin. I've got no idea because the course is up and down. So whether I can maintain that, who the hell knows? But I'm going to just try and go for 9:05, no quicker than 9, and look to run about 9:05. So, I've got a little bit of leeway on either side of things, but I'm not going to be really anal about it because then you've got to take into account like GPS and things like that. So, yeah, I hopefully that answers the question. Gary's looking forward to seeing the vlog with yourself and the other YouTube guys. Yeah, I'm hoping to get some good content out there. Let's see what comes out. I think it's going to be a content fest. There's going to be a lot of stuff all over social media. You've got people like Matt Choi there and people like that. So it's going to be, it's going to be all over the place. Let's see what happens. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Alf got a PB at Valentine's part run. Well done, mate. That's good. 2024, Boom Shankar. Yeah, no, well done, buddy. Well, I think you're going to be going under 20 minutes sooner rather than later. He was wearing Ultra Vanish Carbons. Yeah, I saw somebody running in them the other week in London, actually. A shoe that was sort of chucked out to all the influencers and then sort of forgotten about. I never got into them, so can't comment on them. Yeah, John, hopefully the bed is nice. Hopefully New Balance have given me a decent bed to sleep in while I'm in New York. I'm guessing it'll be absolutely lovely jubbly. A lot of love for the New York trip. So thank you very much to everybody who's wishing me luck for my upcoming New York trip. So, Donnell, apologies if I'm pronouncing anybody's names wrong. Apologies to the lovely lady, lovely London lass in the FORDY Runs t-shirt and tutu dress that I probably frightened the life out when I said hello to her during the Dublin Marathon. Yeah, there was a few people from FORDY Runs doing the Dublin Marathon, and congrats to everybody who completed that. I had a couple of clients doing it. They absolutely did a sterling job while they were out there. It is something that I would probably like to do at some point. This year obviously doesn't fit in. Next year, would it fit? No, probably, maybe. Maybe not actually. No, actually, it won't fit in next year. But it is one that I would like to do. I hear good things about it. I hear good things about the crowd in particular. But yeah, so well done everybody who completed the Dublin Marathon at the weekend. It's definitely on the to-do list, let's say. Andrew, your reviews got me into the Nova Blast 3. What a great shoe. Just ordered my second pair. Yeah, the Nova Blast 3 was a cracking shoe. It really, really was. It was What made the Nova Blast 3 so good was that it could do the easy stuff, the recovery, the boring stuff really well, and then it sort of switched on. It was like almost like a switch underneath it. And if you started to lean on it and put some pace through it, it just came alive. It's a little bit more stable than version 2. And it just, yeah, the only thing that let that shoe down was this terrible, terrible outsole on it. I know again, I can't say anything too, well, I don't know, but it's out there in public domain. But the new one's got a slightly tackier outsole on it. So the big problem with the Nova Blast 3 staying on script was the fact that the outsole was just an absolute disaster. And I've got to be honest with you, a lot of the ASIC shoes this year, the outsoles are not particularly good in the greasy conditions. So I would be careful of those. But the Nova Blast 3 in the dry summer months was an absolute joy. It just feels quick when you want to, and it just feels easy when you want to feel easy, and that was the brilliant thing with it. That the is it Flight Foam Blast Plus in the shoe just comes alive. So yeah, we'll yeah. Let's move on. It's just stupid, isn't it? Right. So next from Guy. Good luck, Chris, for the weekend. Thank you again to everybody wishing me luck. Does the GT2000 V12 have a wide toe box? I don't know. Firstly, I don't know whether they do a wide fitting in it, but my one had enough room in it. I would say I've got normal width feet. I don't struggle unless the shoe really cuts in. Some shoes obviously are quite aggressive in terms of the way they cut in. But I never had any issues with the GT2000 version 12 in terms of the toe box cutting in or anything like that. And in general on ASIC shoes, I don't like Super Blast, Nova Blast. I don't Nimbus. I've not had a problem with any of those shoes really in terms of the width of the toe box. I would say maybe the depth is a little bit shallow versus the previous version. That's probably one observation, but it's not particularly noticeable because the upper's quite good on it. Obviously, it's a big improvement. So look, as I said, I think the Nova Blast, you guys have got me on the Nova Blast. I think the GT2000 V12 is the best mild stability shoe without any doubt out there at the moment. It nicks that off of the Puma Forever Run Nitro purely because of it does the basics very, very well. And it just feels lighter and nippier than the Puma. And the Puma's a fantastic shoe, but it just feels a little bit more. Yeah, it's just got a little bit more about it. And say the Puma's a great shoe. It's got the Puma outsole as well, so that wins every day. Someone's loving my Barnet. Thank you very much. It's because I haven't got a hat on. I usually wear a hat, but they're packed or in the process of getting packed. One down there. ASICs are doing stack heights differently now. So the Nova Blast 4 height is the same as the 3. It's actually a fraction more, John. It's 0.5 more, I believe. Again, should be all right with that because that's out there. It's 0.5. I think it's 41 and a half. I think the previous one was 41. Happy to be corrected. But they have knocked it up a touch, but it still remains with the 8mm drop. Yeah. Probably said too much. Even that's just nuts. Agree on the Trabuco Max 2. Did me well at Beachy Head Marathon the other week. Yeah, you go. So I think that's a big statement in itself on the Trabuco Max 2. The fact that it got around Beachy Head Marathon tells you everything you need to know on that trail shoe. As I said, it's just the most comfortable thing to wear on the trails. It's not fast. It's quite a heavy shoe, but it's just so damn comfortable. It hangs on really, really well, and it'll just take everything on and just do it very, very comfortably. It's really one of those. Yeah, absolute cracker. Gavin, all the very best in New York. Really looking forward to seeing the footage. We'll be hitting you up for a personalised plan for London when I get back, as recommended by a certain Mr. Slater. Yeah, thanks for that, and thanks Ben, obviously, for recommending. We've been inundated with plans for London and the spring marathons. If you want a personalised plan, book it in now, please, because the diary's filling up very, very quickly. And even on, I've got one space left for spring marathons. So if you want coaching on for the spring marathons, I've got one space left. I always open up couple of spaces for spring marathons. Yeah, so if you want a space on the team, there is a space on the team at the moment for somebody for the spring season. We can help you with that. So yes, Mr. Slater, yeah, he's been absolutely crushing it. Where else do we go? Oh, coming back on the waterproof socks. Sealskin and Hemi are waterproof, windproof socks, and breathable. They also do water resistant socks. Okay, maybe I'll try some. I'm just not. I'm just. I'm just not like feeling it. I just think it might overheat. That would be my worry. Yeah, that would be my concern in terms of my feet. Have you, Steve? So, have you done much hill training for going up and down the bridges? I understand the injuries. Yes. So, Steve, no, I haven't. My, as you rightly said, my training has been totally thrown up in the air since the summer. So, no, the plan was to do that or continue that. So, up until August, we was putting some okay stuff into some of the runs on the longer side, particularly. And then because of the back injury, I've only been limited to running 35 miles a week, give or take, and sticking to the flat stuff because the back just gets aggravated really easily, and it's incredibly frustrating. I just want to get through this training block and then get it healed, get it recovered properly, and then yeah, and then go from there. But Steve, I would say I've been very open about it. I'm not going there to run a time. So even if I'm walking up the hills, I can give two hoots. That makes no difference to me. I'm not going there to run a time. So I'm happy to walk up the hills and run down them and carry on. I really couldn't care less. There is one hill that people the New York runners or somebody was saying that they do recommend to walk up it. I think it's the one at 16 or whatever it is. I can't remember which one it is, but they say a lot of people do walk it anyway. So again, I don't care. I'm not going there to run a time. I'm going there, as I said to you, I'll start off at 9:05 per mile and I'll just trot about and see what happens. And if I go finish at 5 hours, if I finish in 4 hours, I couldn't care less. It's not about time for me. But otherwise, normally the plan was, as I said to you, the plan for New York was plenty of endurance, stamina building work, and then that got thrown out the window when I got injured. I was referring to link. Oh, Gary was referring to the link for tonight. Yeah, that was on me. I just didn't put it out because I just forgot. To be perfectly honest with you, I totally forgot. I programmed in the long run show for Friday, but I forgot to do this one. Okay, Dougal, have you tried the Puma Voyage Nitro 2 trail shoe? Good price on Start Fitness at the moment. I have not. I know Ben was taken by Puma to do some sort of influencing work on that side of things. And I never got sent a pair by Puma to review, so I never tried the shoe. He seemed to like them. I mean, depends what you're after on a trail shoe. I really like the Fuji Speed 2. That's the trail shoe for me at the moment. I just think if I'm wanting to go out and burn around in the trails, is the Fuji Speed 2 from Asics. It's light, it's fast, it grips, does the job. The Merrell Agility Peak is a good sort of halfway ground, and it's comfortable, but it's quite heavy. But the Fuji just feels light on foot, so I really enjoy that. So I can't comment on the Voyage Nitro 2. Funnily enough, we do have a good video coming out on. You mentioned Start Fitness on Wednesday about some of the latest deals in terms of what's coming out and when you should buy your shoes and things like that, because they've got some deals coming or they're already out in 1st November, or let's say some of them might have even started. There's a couple of things to highlight in that video, so that'd be worth checking out if you're after some deals. Definitely have a look at that one. Chris, evening, Richard. I am 17 stone with 2 flat feet. Will be a good marathon shoe. I'd have a look at the Triumph 2021. I think that's a cracking shoe. Stable, or the Glide Ride 3, which you can still pick up. That would be a very good shoe. Yeah, the Glide Ride 3 is probably a better shout over the Triumph. Maybe Glycerine 20. Don't go like anything earlier than the 20 because they're boring. But the Glycerine 20, the midsole is definitely better. But I would say I would say in terms of stability, I'd probably go Glide Ride 3. Comfort, I'd probably go Triumph. And there's a new version because they're coming. Not got them yet. Like not a Run Shield one, but like a winter version coming. I was told I was getting sent them. So they should be on their way. So like a high vis version of the Triumph is out, but you can pick up the Triumph 20. Again, have a look at Start Fitness. You can pick up the Triumph 20 pretty cheap, I think. So that could be a good shout because it's soft, but it's not unstable. Okay. What shoes will you be wearing in New York? As somebody said on YouTube, what sponsored shoes will I be wearing in New York? So I will be wearing the New Balance Fuel Cell SC Elite 3 New York version is what I've got. If you go on Instagram, if you go on the New Balance website, you'll see the SC Elite 3, although the Elite 4, I know the Believe in the Run guys have got. I will be in the New York version of the SC Elite, which is fine because I've been doing some of my training runs in those, so that's all good. So I'm looking forward to trying them on. Hopefully they're a UK 10 because I do go slightly different in my New Balance sizes. So hopefully that is a UK 10, Thomas. If you're listening to this back later, I need a UK 10, which I think I've told you. So hopefully, yeah. So that's what I'm going to have on my feet on race day. So just plod around in them. They're a cracking little shoe. So yeah, looking forward to wearing them, and more so because they've got New York written on them, which I think is really awesome. Guy, so let's make this the sort of well, unless anybody else has got anything urgent, stick it in now. But because I'm just conscious of the time. Any plans post race? Burger King. I'm going to say this one. Canalist. Oh, I mean, I'm open to recommendations, Guy. To be honest with you, to what to eat and where to eat. I fancy. I really obviously pizza when I'm over there. Get some pie. What was they call it over there? Really fancy that. But yeah, I'm not really. I'll be honest with you. I'm not really thought past. Well, not really thought past Thursday in terms of getting on the plane and doing that part first. The race will take care of itself. We've got a couple of bits on. There's just the shakeout run. If you've not seen, it's going to be. I think I said at the start, it's going to be absolutely epic. It's going to be the shakeout run to end all shakeout runs, and I think everyone's going to be sick of seeing it on social media probably by the end of Saturday or Sunday. I start at 9:15 or 9:30, I think, on is it 9:15? I can't remember. On Sunday, sorry. Yeah, so that's pretty good. Get out. There's chance of a shower now apparently, so that'd be cool. I'm wearing a New Balance Believe in the Train to New York vest, which is black, which is cool. So Johnny Cash again. So I'm looking forward to donning those colours and having a good time. Really, I don't know who else is going to be out there. If any of you guys are going to be out there, hopefully I can see some of you guys. If you are coming along to the shakeout run, that'll be kind of cool. Say hi. Yeah, it's just going to be a great opportunity. Well, it's a great opportunity, full stop, isn't it? To go out there and run the New York City Marathon. To be honest with you, with believing the run of New Balance, but if you can put that aside, but it's just an amazing thing to go out to a place like New York and do, and run the New York City Marathon, 50,000 or 55,000 people, and it's like a wall of sound apparently the whole way. You've got up and over the bridges, up and over the rivers. You've got people chanting on the streets, bands, and it just looks crazy. It just looks mad, So that the whole race is just going to be epic. Don't get me wrong, the course looks tough, right? Everybody says about the bridges, everybody says about the hills. If you've done this hill training, you've got to watch out mile 23, 24. You've got to make sure you fuel 3 miles beforehand because, those hills will catch you out. And there's all this sort of stuff that's, that's thrown at you in terms of it all. You've got the issues of having to get up so early because you've got to get well, I'm lucky I'm getting a bus, a coach to the start. But you got to get up early, and then you don't have that picks you up at like 5:30, but you just don't start till 9:15. So when do you fuel? You've got all that to deal with, which complicates things. It's not like like London, which is relatively simple in terms of doing it and getting through it. But yeah, so there's multiple things going through my mind about it, but it's not actually the running of the race that seems to be bothering me really. It's more the sort of logistics of it all and getting around the whole thing. But yeah, look, I'm super lucky. I'm blessed to be able to give this opportunity. That's down to you guys who listen to these things, tune into these things, make this the biggest independent running podcast in the UK. The YouTube channel's small, but the club's massive. So it's like, and that's down to you guys as well, and what we do here. It's everything in terms of the reach is down to you guys. So I can only thank you because I'm getting these opportunities because of you guys, right? So yeah, there's nothing really more to add other than, again, I won't be there on Friday. I'll be in New York. I won't be there on Monday because I'll still be in New York. But the following week, I'll be back on the long run show on the Friday. Hayden, obviously, we've got to mention Hayden because he's going for his 6th star, which is just incredible. He's an everyday runner, and he's been, he's worked hard to pay for the opportunity to go and do these things. He works really hard, so you can never, put that in a negative light that he's doing these things. So I think it's great that he's doing these things. It's shining a light on doing some of these things and showing that everybody can do it if funds permit. But that's just incredible. So yeah, we can't take that away from him. So I'll be back on that Friday show. Hopefully Hayden will be on there. We can talk through what happens in New York, break it down. But like I said, we'll have the race vlog will come out. There'll be stuff all over social media for sure. And then we'll get the race vlog out, and then we'll do the sort of 40 runs weekend from New York, which hopefully will be something to sit down with a cup of tea and watch and enjoy. I'm going to record it really as a memento to remember the experience and to remember what an amazing opportunity that I was given and I have been given and doing. And again, that's down to you guys. So yeah, thanks very much to everybody. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for all the good luck messages. Thanks to everybody who's follows us, supports us, members, club members, social media followers, everybody who's bought into the ethos of what we're trying to do, this movement of the everyday runner, of inclusivity, and it's not about time, it's not about distance, and taking away any barriers to entry. I really appreciate it. If you think back, we started, it's nearly 6 years ago now, with me in Greenwich on my own, thinking this is just nuts. Why am I sitting here having a panic attack when there's all these other people probably in the same state as me, and now look at it, biggest running club in the country that's just about to go turbocharged, and it's just incredible, and that's down to you guys. So thank you very much, everybody. Hopefully I see some of you in New York. Get onto the socials, and if you want to follow along the journey, we'll probably try and keep some of that up to date as we go through this. But yeah, thanks very much to everybody for tuning in live. Thanks if you've taken us out on your run with you this week. And hopefully, by the time we get back, we might even be able to talk about the Nova Blast 4, which would be quite funny, wouldn't it? That we could actually talk about the Nova Blast 4. So yes, guys, I'll leave it there. I've got loads to do. You can't see it, but down here is a case. Down here is some other bits that I've got to take with me. So I've got a couple of days to get sorted. And I've also got to go and clean up because I was just doing cutting out a pumpkin for Daisy about 2 minutes before I came on air. So that's why I was a bit late. So yeah, there we go, guys. I'm going to end it there. Thanks again to everybody for all the support. Hopefully I'll catch up with you soon. Make sure we're back. Come back on when we do come back on the Monday. You tune in live. These shows don't happen without you. We need you here. And yeah, there we go. Right. So where's the outro? It's there. Okay, team. I'll see you later.